Good evening, dear students, and welcome to the GMAT 41's Super Showdown Math 101 Exam Focus Revision. I'm very glad to meet you friends once again, and especially to our dear students in Unizik as you prepare for your Math 101 Elementary Mathematics. I think the exam is kicking off on Friday, and so GMAT 41 has decided to hold this exam focus revision in two parts. This particular episode is going to cover part 1. So once again, I welcome you, dear friends. Gochuku, you are welcome. So in this part 1, you would have seen already the things that we are going to cover. We're going to look at the concept of indices. We're going to consider logarithm. We're going to look at surd, quadratic equation. We're going to consider complex numbers. And of course, we'll see the things, polynomial, partial fraction. These are things we're going to consider in this part 1. And then in part 2, we'll look at the other part, which of course is going to be tomorrow. We're going to consider the remaining parts: binomial expansion, permutation and combination, trigonometry, set notation. So this is how GMAT 41 has arranged this revision class to go. As it happens to be, this is, to me, like a close to you guys' examination, because once students have hit mathematics, it's as good as they're rounding off. And like you would have seen from the timetable, you would be rounding off soon your exam, But the key interfaculty courses, I think, is going to be that which you're preparing for on Friday, Math 101. Please, permit me, before I kick off this revision, I want to speak directly to our dear great Zekite, Unizik student. It would be unfair to me, GMAT 41, not to use this opportunity as I round off your revision with your core interfaculty courses. It would be unfair to me if I don't talk about that. And quickly, I just want to make this known to you, dear friends, please, okay? First, with respect to the fact that before you resumed, that's when you guys got your admission on this platform, on GMAT 41's platform, I had already, as a way of preparing you friends, address you people on the need to take your studies seriously, both online and offline. I want to believe that the experience you have gathered this semester should prepare you ahead of second semester, knowing that your GP is a cumulative effect of both first and second semester. I highlighted the importance of this platform called GMAT 41, all right, both to Unizik and, of course, the wider public. The wider public. Because like we understand what our education system is all about. Well, it's not an issue of maybe my saying sorry for saying this. That's the truth. We all know and understand, except we decide to tell ourselves lies. I put it to you that in most of your lectures, you saw how the thing went. Well, we are not even talking from the aspect of lecturers. Look at maybe the learning condition. Lecturers, they kept doing their best and other things, but of course, everyone has a limit to what he or she can do. You have observed clearly how some of you, your lecture hall, you particularly, was outside, while some were inside taking lectures. And then you could wonder, how do you make up for what the lecturer might be teaching in class? Our helper and God Jehovah has always supported this platform. I went around to talk to you friends about the need of making sure that you take your studies outside the classroom. Your lectures are important. You also want to make strenuous efforts on your own outside class. Because at the end of everything, dear friends, what will determine your excellent GP is you and you yourself. Sadly, Although it is not new to me because I've heard stuff like that, but of course I don't care because I think the facts and the evidences are clear. My work speak volume. My works speak volume to my committed interest in helping students. Yeah. Why did I say sadly? It's a usual thing when some people, yeah, could be tutor or what have you. I don't want to care about these ones, who maybe sometimes organize some group of students. It could be your senior students to come and tell you lies. I know you hear stuff like, okay, that you don't need to attend GMAETS 41's lesson because he's not good at, I mean, he's not good at teaching. And I just laugh. Some people go ahead telling students that it's only online that GMAETS 41's run, which is why most of you per se, you were no longer interested to even find about GMAETS 41. But I could put it to you that most other students, they learned, your mates, both from my physical tutorial on campus in Unizik. So, having said this, please, I'd like all of you to be affected by the love coming out from GMAETS 41. Yes, I could make these live classes only for members of this channel, but I've decided to make it open to the public so that every one of you would learn. For I know how important, right, your exams are to you, friends. Please, may this guide you into next semester. Whatever I hear anyone tell you, I want to believe that what you've seen for yourself this semester should guide you. For me, I want to say without apology, any learning platform that does not make arrangement for students to learn from the comfort of their home as well too, that learning platform is plain. Yes, it's plain. We are no longer in the old time or whatever. The world is a global village. Yes, the world is a global village. Thanks to technology, a lot of things have been made possible that there are so many things you talk about learning. If you don't learn them from class, you can learn them from the comfort of your home. And GMAETS 41 remains a champion in that as long as Unizik is concerned. Yes, with all humility, but with gratitude to our God and helper Jehovah, I want to make this clear, as you friends would have seen clearly, that this platform called GMAETS 41, whether physical or online, remains one that is 100% committed, and of course the best in giving students what they need when it comes to their studies. I appreciate all of you for tuning in into this channel. I appreciate you for supporting this channel. Those that have sent, stuffs across, appreciation messages, and subscribe to this channel as well too. Those that are our channel members, all of you, always remember that I love you so much. Right? I wish you the very best in this next exam you are going for, General Interfaculty course, a course that many students worry about. But I want to assure you of this truth. Yeah, as long as GMAETS 41 is concerned, your Math 101 is a baby course. It's a baby course. This is one course you are sure of smashing your A in it. Be confident in that. As a matter of fact, it is simpler than your Physics 101, your Chem 101. So if you're able to handle those ones very well, based on information I received from students who followed up with revision classes, and of course my own beloved students, right? Based on information obtained from them, they did well in all those courses, then Math 101 is already a walkover for you guys. Having said this, please let us kick off with our class without any further waste of time. This is math, so there is no time for too much talks as per definition and stuff like that. You are entering to hit calculations straight on. And remember, this course, you are not allowed to use calculator. You are not allowed. So I want to advise you guys, if you have your calculator there, you can just keep it aside. It is a standing rule. I am a Zik. Okay, I was a Zikite. Okay, although I still remain a Zikite because I am an alumnus of that school. I studied there, yeah. I studied chemical engineering there, class of 2014-2015 graduate. Graduate, not when I started. I started 2010. After 4 years at home, right, to work and, get myself fully ready for higher institution. But I've been in teaching work since 2006. Yeah, since 2006. So come from there till now. And you can just imagine how many years. So with the experiences and, of course, my love for students, I'm always out to give you the very best. So, being a Zekite in the past and still operating there, you are not allowed to use calculator in Math 101. In Math 101, we didn't use calculator. Math 201, we did not. Math 102, which is second semester, we did not. Math 201, 200 level, we did not. Math 202, ODE. These are courses that you're not allowed to use calculator. It's a standing rule. So you take notes. You better don't even go with your calculator that day. Okay, now we are going to kick off with indices, like I said. Now, when you talk about indices, what should you know? Simply, where you have a variable like an alphabet, and then you have a power. The power could be number. It's still possible that the power can be an alphabet. It's also possible that, okay, you can have a number with alphabet on top. You can have a number with alphabet on top. That is also a concept of indices, and but nobody is going to ask you the definition of indices in your exam. I don't think so. And therefore, having said this, we're going to go straight to what you are expected to know. You should know how to simplify indicial expressions. That is expression in indices. You should know how to solve indicial equation problems. That is equation in indices. And without wasting time, we are picking our very first question. All right? We are picking our very first question under indices. But let me say this, please, quickly. If you are not done with the rules of indices or the laws of indices yet, consider reviewing that before your exam. Without the laws of indices, you practically cannot be able to solve any question under indices, because the questions we solve there, they are from the laws. So we have our very first question here. Imagine your examiner gives you this question and you're asked to simplify two whole number 1/4 raised to the power of 1 whole number 1/2. I have always said this. Don't think that your exam questions are coming from heaven. No. They are within the framework of what you've done, what your lecturers have taught you, what you have in your textbooks, what you have taken in tutorials, what you have studied on your own. Have that confidence. Are you following? I don't think that the question will be such that you go left, you go right, you go back and front before you get the answer. No. Besides, this is CBT you are preparing for. So we are asked to simplify this. This is our very first question, Q1. So how do you simplify this? As simple as this could look, yes, it is a proper examination question. So we move. Solving this solution, once you see a mixed fraction, the first thing you are expected to do anytime is to convert it to improper fraction. So having this is going to be 4 times 2, which is 8. 8 plus 1, which is 9, divided by 4. I'm going to be showing you faster ways of dealing with stuff like this also in exam. Like I told my tutorial students, okay, but in our physical class, I explained the fact that you want to, right, continue to develop the network of your brain. And when you're in the exam hall, allow the network of your brain to do the work for you. God has created something wonderful there. Because here we are looking at time. Yeah, you guys won't have time in the courses, right, in the exam. Since it is a batch by batch stuff. You want to be very fast and yet accurate. Now, when I have this guy you are seeing here, which is the power, is 3/2. Is 3/what? 2. If you convert it, 3/2. Now, once you get this thing, what next do you do? Since in the power, the denominator is over 2. It simply means square root of these terms you have in brackets. When you have power as a fraction and the denominator of that power is 2, that means square root. So this thing you are seeing here is square root of this 9/4 raised to the power of what? 3. But the first way you can deal with this is remembering that, watch, this 9 is 3 raised to power 2. 9 is 3 raised to power 2. 4 is 2 raised to power 2. So if you're in the exam hall, you are really expected to break this guy down. And when you're breaking this guy down, please target the denominator of the power. The denominator of the power should guide you to know what you are going to break this guy down to in terms of power. Since I have over 2 here, I must target this guy to break it down in such a way that it's going to give me something raised to a power that 2 can divide. So like I said, this guy you are saying is 3 squared all over 2 squared. This is a waste of time in exam hall. Knowing that this 9 is 3 raised to power 2, that power 2 will cancel these 2 outside automatically. Again, 4 is 2 raised to power 2. That power 2 will also be cancelled by this over 2 here. Because power distributes over division and multiplication. Power distributes over division and multiplication. Which means this guy you are seeing here is 9 raised to power 3 over 2. This is 4 raised to power 3 over 2. So when you break them down, having over 2 over 2, this is going to be 3 over 2. Now watch. This and this will cancel this guy outside. Because already both of them, if you distribute this power will affect this 3, this power will affect this 2. So that we now have finally 3 raised to power 3, which is 27. And then 2 raised to power 3, which is 8. Once again, 3 to the power of 3, 27. 2 to the power of 3, 8. And can 27 be divided by 8? No. So your examiner can leave the option like this, or I'm so sorry about that network glitch. Village people. Village people, right? We are not giving up. This is GMAETS 41. Our God and helper is Jehovah. And he will always continue to carry us through. I'm really so sorry about the network glitch. Please, let's get ready to kick off. I think the network has been restored. So if you are back, please let me know. Just indicate your presence. Indicate your presence that you can see what's on the board. Can I kick off? Since the network has been restored. Please. Network is really down this evening. Network is down, but let's see. We'll manage. Indicate from your end if you can see the board. This is serious. The network wants to mess us up, but it's quite unfortunate for the network itself. Yes. Thank you very much, Omuche, for indicating that you can see now. So I'm using this device to also check what is happening. But all the same, we will continue to manage. Please let us move on. I think I've explained this. The answer is 5 over 2 or 2 whole number 1 over 2. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. You are asked to simplify this. That's the next question. Question 3. You are asked to simplify square roots of 84 divided by 3. Okay, this is 84 a raised to power 3, a raised to power 3, then b raised to power minus 2, all over 3a raised to power 5, then b raised to power minus 6. So this is the next question we're going to look at. Let's be fast. You see this question, I suppose you're exposed to something like this in exam. What's the first thing you want to remember? Remember that this square root is convertible to fractional power, fractional index. Square root is the same as what you have raised to power 1 over 2. What you have raised to power 1 over 2. That's the meaning of square root. So quickly, you have to use that idea. You have to use that what? Idea. I think this 84 actually, I read something else. Please, this is 72, not 84. 72 over 2, please. 72 over 2, because whichever examiner that gave this is something the person is targeting because of that square root. So quickly, this is what you do. Square root means raised to power half. Remember that. Raised to power what? Half. So without wasting time, this is going to be equal to divide 72 by 2. If you divide 72 by 2, you will get 36. You will get what I said, 36. Then once you get that 36, what do? 36, square root of 36 is going to give you 6. Square root of 36 is going to give you what? 6. Take note of what I said. 72 divided by 2 will give you 36. The network again. I hope the board is clear, right? This network should be very careful of itself tonight. Okay, let's move on. So 72 divided by 2 will give you 36. Let me show you that working, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary because whereby you know that this is 36, if you know that this guy is 36, take the square root of 36 directly. And if you take square root of 36, you are going to get 6. Then move to this, apply division law of indices to these two a's. This is a raised power 3, this is a raised power 5. A raised to power 3 divided by a raised power 5 is the same as a raised power 3 minus 5. And if you have 3 minus 5, you're going to get a raised power minus 2. You're going to get a raised power what? Minus 2. Then come to B. But that thing I was saying, remember, this expression given to us has square roots. That square root is the same as raised to power 1 over 2. For example, in the case of this A, we are meant to have a raised to power minus 2. Then with your network of your brain, no time to waste, dear friends. Since this thing is square root, and square root means raised to power half, automatically as you are getting this, you are supposed to be cancelling this 2 and this over 2 outside if you are in the exam hall. So that immediately you are removing that square root. Examiner that gave you that knows why they gave you the question in that format. Are you following, right? Network is really so bad this evening. Gosh, today of all day. Today of all day. Okay, let's move on. Then come to B and do the same thing. This is B raised to power minus 2 divided by B raised to power minus 6. Apply division law of indices. Move this minus 6 up. You are going to get minus 2 plus 6. And minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 4. Is equal to 4. Then if this B is actually B raised to power 4, remember that square root means raised to power half. These 2 will divide this 4 to give you power 2. Meaning that what you have here actually is 6a raised to power minus 2 b raised to power 2. That is what you have. There is no need of punishing yourself with that square root stuff. Use that square root to work out everything you are doing once. So this is b raised to power 4. And like I said, you can raise everything to power half. You can raise everything to power half, which is square root. Okay, let's move on. This raised to power half, like I said, is square root. 36. Square root of 36 will give you 6. Is it the same as 6 raised to power 2, then raised to power half? 6 raised to power 2, then raised to power half. This and this we cancel out. Because 6 raised to power 2 will give you 36. We have 6 here. A raised to power minus 2, then distribute this half to it. We'll give you a raised to power minus 2, then power half times half. The 2 we cancel, we'll be left with a raised to power minus 1. Then take note of this. A raised to power minus 1 is the same as 1 over a, which means that this a you have here, if these 2 divide these 2, you have minus 1 left. That a is actually going to the denominator. So this will be 6 over a. Then come to b. These 2 will reduce this 4 to give you square. So this is b raised to power 2. Therefore, the solution to this guy is 6b squared all over what? A. 6b squared all over a. Remember what I said, you don't need to be stressing yourself in exam hall. Square root already is what you have here. 72 over 2 is 36. Square root of 36 will give you 6. Look at the 6 here. Apply division law to this a. A raised to power 3 divided by a raised to power 5 will give you a raised to power minus 2. That minus 2, this square root is the same as raised to power half. So the minus 2 will be cancelled by that over 2 in that power half. You'll be left with raised to power minus 1. And a raised to power minus 1 is the same as 1 over a. The a goes to the denominator. Then you come to this. Apply division law to this b. You have b raised to power minus 2. Then minus 6 goes up to become plus 6. And if it is plus 6, by the time you take the square root, which is b raised to power minus 2 plus 6, which is 4. Square root of that b raised to power 4 will give you b raised to power 4 in bracket raised to power half. And then you work on that, you get b raised to power 2. And that is the answer. Please, can you see from that end? Can you see from that end? I want to be very sure. Okay, Agbo guy change location. The network from his end is okay now. Please, can someone else confirm and indicate that the network from this end is okay, that you can see the board? If you can see the board, please just type the board is clear now. Because from my second device, I don't know, the camera itself is clear from this end. I don't understand what's happening in the second device. The network is shaking. Okay. I think I can feel it here as well too. This is just annoying, right? That's where we found ourselves in this country. So sad. But anyway, we'll just keep managing. We'll keep managing. It's a good thing that this is live class. And because it's live class, a copy of this will be made available later. But time is just going and we are not covering much of what I want us to cover. So annoying. So annoying. Okay, now let us move on, please. I think I've gotten information. It is also clear again from this device. Let's take practically what supposedly would be our last question under indicial expression. Under indicial expression. And take note of what I did here. Things you need to know. Allow the network of your brain to do a lot of works for you in the exam hall. Now, I have this other kind of question that your examiner can likely test you on indicial expression. Okay? The examiner can likely test you on that, on indicial expression. Let us look at it and see what we have there. So this is the question. Simplify 6 to the power of 2n plus 1 times 9 to the power of n minus 1 times 4 to the power of 2n divided by 18 to the power of n times 2 to the power of n times 12 to the power of 2n. You are asked to simplify that. You are asked to simplify what is on the board here. Now you see this type of indicial expression in the exam. What are you expected to do? Simple, right? Anywhere you see n here, fix any value you want. Yes, fix any value you want. If you want to use 0, it's your choice. If you want to use 1, it's your choice. If you want to use 2, it's your choice. But we are talking exam hall. We are talking exam hall. So you don't need to go and be using any kind of value. Here, use n. Let n be equal to 0. It's faster to make use of n equal to 0. This is just like a shortcut, a trick to solving this problem. Are you following, right? So this is going to be, here you have 6 to the power of 2 times 0 plus 1 times 9 to the power of 0 minus 1 times 4 to the power of 2 times 0. Wherever you see n, fix 0. That will be faster for you in exam hall. 18 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 0, 12, then raised to power 2 times 0. That is what you do. As long as this thing is an expression. Remember, there is nothing like equal to here. It is not equal to anything. Are you following, right? It is not equal to anything. So it is indicial expression. It's an expression. So you have something like this. Wherever you see n, fix 0 there. Like I said, you can use any value and get the same answer, but it's best to use 0. Now let us see how all these things will go down. Are you ready? 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 6 raised to power 1 will give you 6. Times 9 raised to power 0 minus 1 will give you minus 1. 9 raised to power minus 1 will give you 1 over 9. 9 raised to power minus 1 will give you 1 over 9. So this 9 here, if you simplify this guy, you are going to get denominator. That 9 will go to the denominator. Then come over to this. 2 times 0 will give you 0. 4 raised to power 0 is 1. 4 raised to power 0 is 1. So this whole term is 1. Now remember, you have denominators here. So you can just do all over. That is over. Come to this guy. Come to this guy. I really don't want to draw this thing like this because it's still the same as putting a normal division sign here, another one here. Okay, no problem. 18 raised to power 0 is 1. 2 raised to power 0 is 1. This 2 times 0 is 0. 12 raised to power 0 is also what? 1. Then look at this. If you divide anything by 1, because this denominator is what? 1. You divide anything by 1, you get that same thing. This we are saying is 6 times 1 times 1, which is 6 divided by 9. You can reduce this guy, you know. 6 and 9 can reduce. 3 can do that. 3 divides this will give you 2. 3 divides 3 will give you 3. So 3 divide 9. So if you simplify this, your answer is going to be 2 over 3. That is the answer. So that is what you're expected to do. Thank you very much, Ayush Jaiswal. So I have started doing math after many years, but I can understand easily now. Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you for connecting, okay? All right, let's move on. We are done with this particular question. Remember, once you are given any indicial expression like this, where you have an unknown, a variable as power, an indicial expression, not an equation. Once you see this, select any value you want for the unknown. Are you following, right? And then solve, you'll get the answer. We are moving on to other questions here. We are moving on to other questions. Let us look at indicial. Let us look at indicial equation. Problems on indicial equations, okay? Problems on indicial equations. That's the next we are going to look at. If network likes, it should just be misbehaving. We will overcome it. All right, guys, I'm going to wipe here. We are looking at equation in indices. Equation in indices. Your examiner can test you on equation leading to linear equation as an indicial equation leading to linear equation. You can be tested on indicial equation leading to quadratic equation. You can be tested on indicial equation leading to simultaneous equation. Once you cover all this part, you are done with that. Hey, not clear, sir. Gosh. Chidinma Vivian, I have a question. Ask, how did you get 1 for all the denominators? I got 1 for all the denominators. 18 raised to power 0 is 1. 2 raised to power 0 is 1. 2 times 0 is 0. 12 raised to power 0 is 1. A number raised to power 0 is going to give you 1. Network. Should we kick out for you so that it allows us to rest? This is just annoying, you know? All right, let's move on. So I think I've answered your question, Vivian, right? The denominators 18 to power 0 is 1, 2 to power 0 is 1, 12 to power 0 because 2 times 0 is 0. That's how we got 111 in the denominator. Oh, this thing is just getting blurry, man. Please, can you see that from your end? Can you see that from your end? Can you see that from your end, please? I will. It's like the network really need a goat pepper soup. The network needs goat pepper soup. Okay. On this device, I'm using MTN to stream, and so the thing is a bit blurry. But the camera I'm using Airtel, and Airtel is stronger at my end here in terms of streaming. So I want to know from your end, can you see clearly? Okay, yes, sir. All right, so it means that it is clear here. All right, it means that it's the network I'm using on this device. That's what is a bit down here. So let's move on, please. Let's move on. Perhaps, maybe from your end, you can make adjustments. The next question, let's take our first indicial equation problem, okay? The first indicial equation problem, we have this to be 10 raised to the power y. In this case, question 5, you are asked to solve. Because this is an equation you should solve. I hope this has not cut off from the board. Let me see. Okay, solve. It's showing. Solve the equation. Okay, solve for y. 10. Solve for y. 10 to the power of y. And then times 5 to the power of 2y. Times 5 to the power of minus 2. Times 4 to the power of y divided by 4 equal to 1. Divided by 4 equal to 1. So we are asked to solve for y. An examiner can simply ask you solve the equation. Now, why is this called indicial equation? Simply, it's an equation because we have equal to there. Now, how do you solve this kind of problem? Dear friends, please take note. Since there is equal to here, you can't do this stuff I did here. This is indicial equation, not expression. Are you following, right? You are not. This is not so, okay, simplify this. No, you have to solve for an unknown, and it's an equation. So you don't just go and start fixing any value unnecessarily, just like I did here. Let me tell you, there's a general way of solving this guy. Forget this shortcut I showed you. There's a general way. It's because we are talking exam. That's why I did this thing on the board. In my initial expression video lesson where I saw something like this, I used 2 different methods. The general method and then this shortcut. All right, let's move on. So coming to this, how do we solve this equation? This is the secret. This is the secret. Are you following, right? Look at the whole terms, numbers given to you there. Then ask yourself, what can you do to the numbers so as to break them down to 2 bases? 2 bases, which are prime numbers. Which are prime numbers. And these prime numbers will be in their least form, in their smallest form. I've spoken the grammar. Let's come here and see what I mean by that. If you look at this, is 5. 5 is a prime number. You can't break down 5 below 5 again as a prime number. Then look at this 10. 10 can be broken down. 10 is not a prime number. So you break down this 10 to 2 numbers in their prime number form. And the prime number will be the least prime number. You can't break it down again. In this 10, you have 2 times 5. So 2 is a prime number and also an even number. Take note. 2 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number. Come to this 4, do the same thing. Come to this 4, do the same thing. This 4 can be broken down to 2 times 2, which is 2 raised to the power 2. So this question 2, I thought you would change it before solving. Change it how? I don't understand. Is it this question number 5? There is nothing I'm changing there. There's nothing I'm changing there. So let's move on. Solution. This is what you do. I've given you the secret. Break down any number that is not a prime number. Break it down to 2 possible smallest prime number you can produce. So this 10 you are seeing here is 2 times 5. And please watch. You're in the exam hall. How would you be guided here? So as to be fast and beat up time. If 10 is 2 times 5, remember I told you power distribute over multiplication. So if I have 2 times 5, which is the same as 10, that 2 and 5 are going to be affected by y, which means here we are going to get 2 raised to the power y times 5 raised to the power y. 2 raised to the power y, that is 2 times 5 raised to the power y. Power distributes over multiplication and division. So that is 2 to the power of y times 5 to the power of y. That is what you have here. Why I'm showing you this is because you can actually use the network of your brain to work this out straight on. Work it out straight on without stressing yourself. You're showing all the workings. You don't have that time in exam hall. Now, if this guy has 2 to the power y and has 5 to the power y, observe that there are places you have 5. So you can use multiplication law of indices to deal with that. Then if you come to this 4, there is a 4 under here. That 4 can go up. That 4 can go up. It's not ideal cross multiply. Even if you cross multiply, you still get the same answer at the end of everything. But it is best for you to solve all this side using your laws of indices. If this 4 goes up, you know it's going to be 4 raised to the power y, power 1 will climb. This 4 is raised to the power 1, it will climb up, you have y minus 1. Y minus 1. This is what I'm talking about. This term you are saying is 4 to the power of y minus 1. This and this. Now this 4 you are saying is not a prime number, so you have to break it down to prime number. And to break this 4 down, it is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 you are saying is the same as 2 raised to power 2. Which means that this 4 will be broken to 2 raised to power 2. And remember, this 4 has this power y minus 1. You can't see the extreme side of what I'm writing, really, but it's capturing the whole space. Okay, let me adjust. So solve this 6 raised to the power x times 9 raised to the power minus 1 times 4 raised to the power what? Equal to 6. Oh, are you giving me a question to solve? Amuche, let me understand. I hope you're not asking me a question from what is on the board. If you are giving me a question to solve, then I will solve it after I am done with this, okay? Think what I'm saying, solve this 6 raised to the power x times 9 raised to the power x minus 1 times 4 raised to the power x minus 1 equal to 6. I will solve that. Let's just finish analyzing this. So from what I'm explaining, I've shown you that this 4 and this 4 you have here, if you work it out, this and this, look at the analysis. 2 raised to the power 2. This minus 1 is as a result of power 1 here going up, division law of indices. Now, if that is the case, remember that here you have, if you open up this bracket, you are going to get 2 raised to the power 2y minus 2. 2 raised to the power 2y minus 2. So this is the idea once again. This power 1 of this 4 will go up. You have 4 raised to the power y minus 1. Then this 4 here is 2 to the power of 2. That power 2 will open that bracket on top, that y minus 1. That power 2 will multiply y to give you 2y. And that power 2 will multiply minus 1 to give you minus 2. So dear friends, these two 4s you are seeing, if you work it out, what is going to give to you, look at it. 2 raised to the power 2y minus 2. Now let us use our indices law to work this out. The numerator already straight on because this 4 is up. Now we are going to have this to be 2 to the power of y times 5 to the power of y times 5 to the power of 2y. Just trying to show you this particular thing. It's not necessary, I've explained it already. Then times 5 to the power of minus 2. This 4 will go up. If this 4 goes up, you have 4 raised to the power y times 4 raised to the power minus 1. If you work out the power, you will get 4 raised to the power y minus 1. And that is going to be equal to 1. Let's come back to this. Let me break this thing down. This 4 is 2 raised to the power 2. That 2 will multiply these two powers. So that this term you are seeing here is actually 2 raised to the power 2y minus 2. 2 raised to the power 2y minus 2. Apply multiplication law of indices here. Base 2, base 2. Pick one of the two. Add their powers. Y plus 2y minus 2. Y plus 2y will give you 3y minus 2. Look at it. This is 5, this is 5, this is 5. Apply multiplication law of indices. Pick one of the 5s. Add their power. Y plus 2y will give you 3y. Then look at another power here, plus minus 2. That plus minus 2 will give you minus 2. And that is going to be equal to 1. Now, if you look at these bases, they are not the same. They are not the same. They are different. So you cannot apply indices law to the base anymore since they are not the same. So what do? Observe that the powers are the same in this case. This is 3y minus 2. This is 3y minus 2. Since they have common power, remember I've told you that power distributes over multiplication and division. In that case, you can factorize the common power from different bases if the bases are multiplied or divided. So in this case, you are going to get 2 times 5, then pull out the common power, which is 3y minus 2. And that's going to be equal to, if you're in exam hall, don't go and write 1 here anymore. Observe that 2 times 5 will give you 10. Observe that 2 times 5 will give you 10. So ask yourself the question, what can you do to this 1 to have base 10? Can you write 10 to bear a power so that if you simplify it out, you get 1? The answer is yes. 1 is the same as 10 raised to power what? 0. 1 is the same as 10 raised to power what? 0. And if that is the case, 2 times 5 is 10. And you have 10 on this right-hand side of the equation. So you can cancel this 2 times 5, which is 10. Cancel this 10. You know, they have the same base on both sides of the equation. So from here, we can now have 3y minus 2. Equate the powers. And then y is equal to 2 over 3. Y is equal to 2 over 3. Okay, so we are done with this particular question. That is how you deal with this. Now let us see the one that one of you provided for us. Let's see how you deal with that question. So the question that was presented is this. We take that as question 6. Q6. Solve this. Okay, solve this. I think we have solved the equation. 6 raised to power x times 9 raised to power x minus 1 times 4 raised to power x minus 1 equal to 6. Please, Agbo, if this is not the question you gave, you can indicate. But from what I'm seeing here, it happens to be the question. I hope I'm correct, right? So please adjust the camera. Ha. To which side, please? Left or right? Onyinye, is it left or right? Are you okay? Are you seeing the board? Are you seeing the writing on the board clearly now? Okay. All right, Agbo, you have confirmed that the question is what you gave. Please, Onyinye, can you see the board now? Let me indicate so that I don't go beyond this level of writing if I'm using this side of the board. And then here, so this is the width of the space. So I don't go beyond it. Onyinye, can you see the board now? Because this is clear from this end. I don't know. And no one else has complained. Onyinye, do you say left? Down? Can you see the board clearer now? This is really heartbreaking. Can you see the board now? Scientific reason, you said nice. Are you just joining the class or you are at the point we are? Can you see the board okay? The stuff is clear here now. So I don't know, though it's still shaking. Although it is still shaking. Can someone else also confirm that it is clear from that end? It is clear at my end now with even my second device. All right. Okay, let's kick off, please. But it's still just shaking. I'm done with this question. I'm done with this question. When village people decide anyway, don't mind me, just use it as fun sometimes. Say village people. Can someone else confirm? Scientific reason is saying that it's clear at its end? Can someone else confirm it was clear at my end here and then became blurred again? So, I don't know. This is just so annoying. Today of all day, with this super showdown on Math 101 revision, then this network is just behaving anyhow. Network providers, please do something. Do something. Okay, we are done with initial equation leading to linear equation. If you look at towards the end of all our solving, the equation we got is a linear equation. So I'm going to have us. Can I clear my exam 100% now? If not, this network that is messing up. We are done with this revision. Don't be shocked that some questions you will see it exactly the way you saw it on the board here. Yeah, that's just one thing. So if it is about clearing your exam, you are very sure of that. All of you connected to this class, listen, you are owing me. You are owing me. There's been no time I take a revision on maths, my students, and then you are talking of having challenges in the exam. A's. All of you are owing me A's. A splash. Yes. You are meant to clear it with A's because this course is 1 + 1. So it's not clear. Yeah, I can see that from here. I hope all of you are subscribed and you have your notification bell turned on so that if for any reason I decide to end the class, if network becomes stable, because I think the weather is a bit somehow this evening. Yeah. Once the network becomes clear, I will kick off the class. Even if I don't kick it off now, no problem. We can go rest tomorrow morning by 5 a.m. 5 a.m. we get to business until 9. At least with that, I should be done with part 1 of this thing. Okay, now let us move on, please. I think whatever challenge anyone is having there could be as a result of the network you are using. It could be as a result of the network you are using. It's clear now. MTN is seriously misbehaving, but I'm streaming with Airtel, like I said. Please, let's take our next question. We want to look at certain kind of questions leading to quadratic equation. And this particular question, we are going to take it from your Math 101 workbook because questions can be lifted from there directly. We have this particular question. That's question 6. Question 6. And you are asked to solve the equation. Solve the equation. 5 to the power of 2x minus 5 to the power of x plus 1 plus 4 equal to 0. You have this type of